Welcome back to the podcast, the Search Traverse podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Parker.
And so these are super backlogged. So I apologize if you find that unfortunate, but we are in basically April 25th right now. And I think it's the last cold day of the season for all the weather update people that have been tracking this bullshit winter. It is now like 57 degrees out, but tomorrow it's supposed to be 78 somehow at 3 a.m. So I don't know what that's gonna do. That should be the last day. So we're gonna be happier substantially on these podcasts. We go out there and then we tell you about it. Skateboarding.
I'm a little sore after yesterday. My lower back. We're doing just like the pivoting on the skateboard, just super hard pivoting, right? I don't know what the fuck to call it. My lower back, but I'm getting better. I was just spinning my upper body so much and just like overexerting my lower back, if that's the correct terminology. I get way comfy.
That's what I was saying. I guess I remember, when you're a kid, you get into something, you try and ride, but you fall, but you don't care because you're just happy doing it and you got a skateboard. So I'd like sit and watch videos with like the thing under my feet in
Yeah.
my room and shit. And I was like holding it all the time. So it's like, I think that's with anything. The only difference I didn't become a pro skateboarder is because I go through cycles of shit. So I get
Exactly.
really into something for like most people probably for like probably a year and then something else. But
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, how many people do you think do that? Like, how many people like find a hobby that they just last forever?
probably a decent amount, but also you gotta like cycle through them, and then you
Yeah,
really find out what comes back.
yeah. I guess like mine would be skating, music ish, gaming, but not so much of that anymore. And then I guess this too. And with gaming, back when I did play it, I guess I did want to be the best and try and change some shit. But then I was thinking about like my mom's too. I try to think about hers, and it's definitely like baking, knitting, and then like some other sort of craft, like vinyl or like etching glass or some shit. That's her like rotation. And you
Yeah,
see Kanye made Balenciaga or asked Balenciaga to make a DMX tribute shirt?
I think you told me about that, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's
But
a
dude, him without a beard, shelled guy. Him without a Kanye without a beard, shelled guy with beard. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why.
kinda. I wonder what Sheld guy looks without a beard.
Probably like Kanye with a beard. Yeah.
Whoa. Way all connected. Back to DMX real quick. Did you see that the last drive through with DMX?
No.
Oh, it was like
Drive through what? Like
no
for
the
food? Like
McDonald's. No. The
is it a show drive through?
Yeah, with the casket in the back of like a fucking 16-foot lifted truck. And then there was
Wait, what?
but he drove through the
A
city.
funeral
It
procession?
wasn't even but it wasn't like a funeral procession. It was
Drive through.
kinda. Well,
Hey, they drove him around.
basically because it was a bunch of motorcycles, I guess.
They do that when a cop dies or like a
Yeah.
firefighter, I think.
I thought a procession was just the line of the funeral going to the funeral. I thought them like
It's like
this
when they
event. I
what
thought the event of the VIP
yeah,
was
like
a
when they
different name.
hold Lincoln's body
Yeah.
around in the carriage down like whatever street and stuff. Did you know? I don't want to go off topic real quick, but I'm
How's
gonna.
that?
Oh, really? Okay. Rip DMX. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even, it's just like the dude had just songs that just make you want to just go.
Mhm.
And there's like 15 of them that are just bangers. It's like, how do you? So I don't know. It's weird. It's like an AC/DC type thing. It's like, how are you doing this many?
Yeah.
But the funeral procession for Lincoln. So as you may know, Lincoln got the funeral procession. So when Lincoln was getting pulled down whatever avenue, because I don't remember, one of the kids looking out the window who saw the procession go by was a young little Teddy Roosevelt.
Really?
Yep.
Speaking of bar, did you see that Conor McGregor bought the bar that he punched some dude in and banned him from it, bro?
Is that confirmed?
I think so.
I did not hear about that. That is like one of the best pieces of news you've given me.
Yeah, I saw
That
it.
is
It's funny.
awesome.
It's funny.
He had like an enlightenment moment, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm grounded. Let's just fuck with everybody again." What a
Yep,
savage!
report Conor McGregor buys Dublin pub where he punched elderly man in the face.
But apparently, all I heard was that he just refused a shot, which is like, okay, maybe I was like, is proper 12 that bad, or do you just not like Connor or some shit? You know what I mean?
I'm trying to figure out what, because I didn't know the situation. Last situation oh, maybe I knew the situation. But oh yeah, I definitely did. He bought that shit. In 2 years he bought it. That's savage. But going back to Lincoln, didn't you tell me that he was, like, still alive?
I can find it for you. It was just a doctor, like, they would see his body tense up or something and then relieve the pressure on the I don't know how to word it. You're gonna have to let me find it here.
Because that's a little weird to think about. That seems like, because I mean, he was definitely passed out. He's definitely, like, knocked out, but just he's in coma, basically.
I remember it was like a Charles Leal, it might be. That's the name I found, his physician, but I don't know what they did, push it in or pull it or something, but they had to relieve pressure on it because he was in a coma, I believe,
Yeah.
and they would see him tense up. So they would like relieve the pressure on it to I don't know why. I wish I could find what it was because it was like it's interesting medically because I remember it for some
It,
reason.
like, drained the fluids probably.
No, I don't know if they drained anything, but it was weird. But they were like he's gone to the ages or some shit because they three physicians or three doctors or something like that declared the wound mortal. So I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I wonder if even today they could have operated on him and saved it with today's knowledge.
I'm looking this up.
But what happened to the Conor McGregor? Did the guy just refuse the shot?
Yeah, that's what supposedly happened. He said,
Because if he just refused the shot, then it's like, come on. But if he
well,
said
no, and
some
he
shit that
said
was to Mister
McGregor said,
to the Mystic Mac, you're gonna get
yeah, according to reports, McGregor was involved in the physical altercation after the then 50-year-old turned down a shot of his proper 12 whiskey. And then he says, McGregor says he was in the wrong over his incident with a Mr. Keogh, saying that the man deserved to enjoy his time in the pub. That man deserved to enjoy his time in the pub without having it end the way it did. And he told the UFC Hall of Famer, or told ESPN, it doesn't matter what happened there, I was in the wrong. So he admits that he was in the wrong, but he still goes and buys it and bans him. That's funny. Because I wonder where was it at? Was it somewhere just in
Teddy Roosevelt had the bar fight, the where he's like he was probably pissed off. Apparently, it was after his wife died, so he's like being a cowboy or something, riding around the plains, the Badlands, and I don't know where he was, but yeah, the Badlands and the prairies of western Dakota and eastern Montana territory. So he was in a hotel in I think Montana, and he encountered a bully who didn't know him, which seems weird. Who the fuck? How is there a bully in the Old West? Like, don't you just get shot? Like, you know what I mean? So the guy made fun of his glasses. Roosevelt described the incident in his autobiography. He said, it was late in the evening when I reached the place. I heard one or two shots in the bar room as I came up, and I disliked going in, but there was nowhere else to go, and it was a cold night. Inside the room were several men who, including the bartender, were wearing the kind of smile worn by men who are making believe to like what they don't like. A shabby individual in a broad hat with a cocked gun in each hand was walking up and down the floor, talking with strident profanity. He had evidently been shooting at the clock, which had two or three holes in its face. As soon as he saw me, he hailed me as Four Eyes in reference to my spectacles and said, Four Eyes is going to treat. I joined in the laugh and got behind the stove and sat down, thinking to escape notice. He followed me, however, and though I tried to pass it off as a jest, this merely made him more offensive, and he stood leaning over me, a gun in each hand, using very foul language in response to his reiterated command that I should set up the drinks. I said, well, if I've got to, I've got to, and rose, looking past him. So he's like being chill.
yeah,
He's being chill. Roosevelt's like, all right, bruh.
it still
And
beats him up.
yeah, well, he says, as I rose, I struck quick and hard with my right, just to one side of the point of his jaw, hitting with my left as I straightened out, and then again with my right. He fired the guns, but I do not know whether this was merely a convulsive action of his hands or whether he was trying to shoot at me. When he went down, he struck the corner of the bar with his head. If he had moved, I was about to drop on my knees, but he was senseless. I took away his guns, and the other people in the room, who were now loud in their denunciation of him, hustled him out and put him in the shed. By next morning, the bully had left town on a freight train. Damn. So, whoa, whoa. Before coming to Dakota, Roosevelt was a successful boxer at Harvard. Roosevelt maintained an interest in various martial arts throughout his life, including judo, kendo, jiu-jitsu, boxing, and wrestling, practicing many of them at the White House. He was a savage. Bull moose.
Didn't he also get shot?
Yeah, took a shot, gave a speech, took the shot out. This dude, I guess that's the way to do it. He gave him a couple chances, tried to get away from him. And if you're going to strike first, I guess you're supposed to go hard and fast.
Yeah.
But the guy had his guns pointed at him. So I guess, but he wasn't expecting that probably from him. So as he got up, he's just getting up from the seat right next to him, just boom, boom. But he could have gotten shot.
Done for. Bro, did you know like the old West, the Wild West era ended in like 1920?
Sort of.
Like up to like 1916, there was still like some events that were shaped. But it's weird. That's weird to think about.
I mean, I suppose, but also you got to remember that it's a big country, so people in the East weren't really seeing it. You had to go out there, and to get out there took a fat minute. So I
Still.
guess so, yeah. There's still open places out there now that, I mean, we have satellite imagery and all this shit, but people will just take you away, you know, in the foothills of whatever the fuck.
I don't know, because it's like you're saying, like, how can like the some people exist in the same timeline as George Washington? Like we're watching those internet historian videos.
I think it was in response to some kind of goofy video I saw of somebody just doing some dumb thing. I don't know what it was. It was something goofy though. And I was just like, how is this in the same universe that like
Yeah.
George Washington exists? No, it made more sense. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. It might be on a podcast. It might be.
We definitely said it in the podcast.
The same timeline stuff is cool because you think of Wyatt Earp, right? Tombstone shootout at the OK Corral. That happened in 1880s or something. He died in 1929. He advised a lot of the early movies.
Damn.
It's just, yeah, there's a lot of crossover. You forget how long people live. You just hear about the story that's in their prime, but if they survive, you're like, oh,
they kind of die.
because like think about if Wyatt Earp died at the OK Corral, he would have died in 1880. So you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. He's old.
Makes sense. And who's that one that was like closer to Las Vegas being built?
What do you mean?
Some Greek. I gotta find it real quick. Hold on. Some like historical figure lived closer to Las Vegas being built than like. See what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it was like ancient Egypt was older to Cleopatra than she is to us now, or something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember exactly what it was. There's a lot for time for those two.
Because I mean, how long did fucking ancient Egypt last for?
I don't know. I think she's part of it, so I don't. That doesn't make any sense. But
Right?
whatever.
Huh.
I think Mike Tyson is somehow or had like a fascination with Alexander the Great. I mean, who wouldn't? The dude, kind of savage. By the way, that movie with Colin Farrell, I believe, and Angelina Jolie, the Alexander movie. I watched that shit and it's kind of weird. I was expecting some more history and stuff. I don't know if that's like a kind of like a romance type of thing, like made for romance, but I was like, what the fuck? I think Anthony Hopkins is like Aristotle or something in that movie. He always plays like an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
Even Lecter, man, you can find a way to like him.
All right, here we go. I found it's kind of stupid because it's still a fucking massive distance. But Cleopatra lived closer in time to the building of the first Pizza Hut than to the building of the pyramids.
That's what it was. The pyramids. Yeah.
Pyramids. So it was,
Isn't that cool?
The pyramids of Giza, the construction of them took place roughly from 2550 BC to 2490 BC. And Cleopatra was born in 69 BC and died in 30 BC.
Haha, 69. Anthony Hopkins was Ptolemy.
Interesting.
And then there's that 300 one with Gerard, which is kind of bullshit.
It was theatrical.
Yeah, it was great. It was, but the real Leonidas,
how old?
60.
Really?
He's like 60 something. Yeah, dude. He was a savage. He was a king. And he was like, let's go stop these dudes. And then he sent like the Thebes or something home, or the Thespi dudes or whatever. And he's like, go away, because you're not going to die like savages. And then he kept all the glory for the Spartans, because they're not going to leave. They're going to want to die because it's like dishonorable. And then they take out some, what are they? Immortals or some shit. Or were the immortals even used? I don't even know if they were in the battle.
So I know you really don't like that like super ancient history, but like out of those, like Greek, Roman,
all of it. It's not that I don't like it. It's just, it's not my least favorite is probably knights, like that medieval era. It's not happy, or not that it's happy, but it's just like, it seems like a depressing time. Just the whole thing. I don't know. Just to me, it's not my vibe, but I'm interested in everything else, like ancient Rome, the samurai, Japan, China, or I guess industrial revolution to now. Cause it's just when everything happened. Like, I feel like the world didn't change for a while. It was like a crazy invention would happen, and then all of a sudden, just in like the last 300 years,
Yeah,
it's just gone off.
it really has.
It's wild. Now we're here
We
podcasting.
gotta experience it all.
Yeah. So we just get to vibe. There's nobody shooting at us. There's nobody yelling with a spear. There's no bear in the times of
The
age.
olden days.
Yeah. What do you think your role would be in the tribe?
Crones or no crones?
I think you'd be dead by now.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably be dead if I had crones. But in no crones, like personality wise and what I like doing, I think I probably would be like a hunter. Just
I'd be a
like
podcaster, dude. I just like walk into people's huts and start talking to them.
I don't know.
No, it'd be like trade.
Yeah.
I'd be like the podcast. I'd be like
You'd be the clown jester.
No, dude, you'd be the court jester, dude. First of all, I don't think they had those in tribes. You were
Yeah,
like
no.
the campfire comedian.
Yeah, I'd take that.
I'd probably do that too, but I think I would be like the therapist, dude. If they let me, I probably wouldn't have time.
Yeah, you'd talk to people. Yeah.
I don't think anybody had those kinds of thoughts back then. Maybe they did when they got comfortable, but I think we mentioned this before. You're too focused on like protecting your family and finding food every day. You're not really worried about the meaning of life because you don't have time to think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, you're just fucking hunting,
Yeah.
gathering, surviving. If we grew up there, like we just got brought back there right now, like yeah, we'd probably die. But
What if I sprain my elbow there, dude? How
they
do I
probably
know?
Had, they probably, how many
Yeah,
other
they'll
people
just
have-
let you lay there. But what if you? Well, they can do splints, right? But what if
Yeah.
you like tear an ACL?
I mean, what about me and my Crohn's? Like when I got hospitalized, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't tell what was wrong with me, and I like dropped down to 110 pounds. So
Yeah,
it's
they'd be like, just give them some herbs or something. They would try and make some kind of weird thing and like put it in your nose hole.
yeah, make me drink some shit. I mean, I'm sure they had their ways. People survived somehow,
Yeah, by not doing dumb shit
but
and
then
having kids at like 20.
yeah, I mean, we've made it. That's all that matters. We can only focus on the future, not the past. Do you think in the future we're gonna have VR wars?
Which future though? Like, cause what are we basing on? Cause if it's like Wally future, dude, it's sad to say, but I would be one of those fat people on the
Oh
chair,
yeah,
bro.
everyone would be.
I would just be like, I don't know, man. You think about like David Goggins or something, he'd probably be doing laps around the spaceship. Meanwhile, I'm there like, dude, what are you doing? I got some new boosters on my chair because I gained another 400 pounds.
Well, no, I think everyone would just get forced into that lifestyle.
How can you though? You'd have to change because people can't just do that. You have to have some kind of like thing to keep you. You have to have like something to look forward to though.
Yeah, the newest boosters for your jetpack chair.
That's true. I guess you could just keep ordering stuff, but how do you make money? You got to work, right?
I'm sure they all have their own little like duties that they have to do, but also they probably just use them like idle work. They somehow them sitting there sweating, they collect their sweat or some shit, their farts, and it powers shit. You know?
That or they just have like they just work on because everything computers do everything, right? So what if they're just like maintaining like some of those guys in those chairs, those that you see them in the
Well,
off work hours, and then when they're working, they have the whole screen in front of them, and they're like monitoring the cleaning machines
That's
or
probably
these
what it
machines.
is. But like, weren't there some people that could stand up on the?
I don't remember. I don't think I watched the movie fully through.
But if it's like that type of or future, then I probably would be one of those fat people too. Because I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Go back down to Earth. What's wrong with Earth and Wally? Why
You
can't you go
can't
down?
breathe. There was that cockroach, and then nothing else but Wally, and then Eva came down. No, Eva. What if it's like a Blade Runner type future where it's all just fucking like half futuristic but half like deserted?
That would be
Post-apocalyptic.
weird. Or like
Like,
Fifth Element future. Well,
yeah.
I guess no cars flying, but that would be
That'd
loud.
What if there's like a Tron future where we live inside the game or whatever?
I hope none of that. I hope there's something where we could still like go outside.
Have you seen those bunkers where they're painted to look like the outside?
No, but that's not gonna work.
No, it's not, definitely not. I would go insane. I don't know. I don't know what roles there will be in the future.
How does that work? What are you supposed to do if you so you survived the nuclear blast? Now what? You can't go up there. So you're gonna have to have
Wasn't that what Fallout's all about?
yeah, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to I guess that's what they want to do. They want to get the community of people because you can't just have a family bunker. You need to have like preserve humanity, right? So you stay
Mhm.
down there for like a couple hundred years of generations. But those couple hundred years or that 100 years down there, that's all they know is the vault life.
I mean, wasn't that
No way.
what malls were made like originally made for? To be just like in like just everything that you need right there. So there was supposed to be apartments in malls in the first place, and you could go out to the street, which are just the big ass hallways, and walk down and get your food.
Yeah,
Get,
you don't go to one store, you go to the mall.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. That kind of makes sense though.
But they would have to have some kind of terrarium or some kind of thing, or some plants or some kind of wildlife actually down in the bunker. So it'd have to be a massive complex underneath.
Which they probably do. Like
Somewhere, maybe.
somewhere,
The
yeah.
super elite global elite. Haha, dude. You got
CS:GO.
something you're not telling me, dude? The global elite.
Uh-oh.
You a bunker member, bro?
Maybe.
The Doomsday, like last Tuesday when they kept playing the sirens for fun at 6 a.m. When that happens and the
It did
nukies
go
are
off,
coming.
like, 4
Are
different
you gonna
times.
wake me up to take me to the bunker?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, that's all I needed to know. Peace.
Doses.